Good morning, everyone. Let's discuss next topic from your book of class 11th NCERT Psychology, that is branches of psychology. There are various branches of psychology. We'll discuss them one by one from your book. First is cognitive psychology. As you know, cognitive means mental processes related to thinking. It involves in acquisition, storage, manipulation, and transformation of information received from the environment along with its use and communication. Acquisition means learning, or how developing a skill means to know something. Storage means how to keep this information in mind and how it is manipulated. Manipulated means to handle or control the information and then transforms it, changes according to one's own level of acceptance of that information and how this is used in our communication and expression. The major cognitive processes are attention, perception, memory, reasoning, problem solving, decision making, and language. Attention means noticing the information or any interest in it. Perception means the way it is understood or interpreted. Memory means how it could be remembered. Reasoning is logical or sensible thinking. When you think through a problem, you try to find out a sensible solution. Problem solving means the process of finding solution to difficult issues. Decision making means the process of making choices by identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative resolutions. And language. What is language? It is a method of human communication. Next is biological psychology. It focuses on relationship between behavior and the physical system. As the name suggests, biological psychology is related with biology. This study is done along with neurosciences. Relationship between behavior and physical system means what is the relation between our physical body, physical organs, and other biological processes and our behavior. For example, we discussed earlier study of brain, and mind means how they are related. Nervous system is also studied, means how our nervous system works and how our behavior is influenced. Genetics or heredity is also studied, and then according to this, behavior is influenced. We study all this in biological psychology. Next is neuropsychology. It means the relation of psychology with neurons. What are neurons? Neurons are the basics of nervous system. They are specialized cells which possesses the unique property of converting various forms of stimuli into electrical impulses. Actually, they receive the information in the form of electrochemical impulses. For example, if you touch ice, what happens? It feels cool. So, how you expressed that? It's cool because of brain and neurons which receive the information from your sense organs. Here, sense organ is skin and passes on this information to brain through neurons. That's how you express with your reflexes. So, what is neuropsychology? It is the field where psychologists and neuroscientists work together. Neuropsychology is applied especially to those people whose brain or its part is damaged due to any accident. And this is applied to normal people also. Then the results are compared that how these two different cases react, means how normal brain and damaged brain work. This is done due to various techniques like EEG, PET, etc. What is EEG? EEG is electroencephalogram. PET is positron emission tomography. It helps the doctors to study brain without any surgery. And MRI is magnetic resonance image. Healthcare professionals use it for examining brain and spinal cord. These techniques are used in testing for neuropsychology. Then is developmental psychology. Developmental psychology works on developmental stages of human beings. Do you know the meaning of developmental stages? It is a long process that covers the entire lifespan of an individual. That is conception to death. There are different stages in the development of an individual. These are, first is prenatal stage, means conception till birth. Next is infancy, is from 0 to 2 years. Then childhood, 3 to 11 years. Then adolescence, 12 to 19 years. Then adulthood, 20 to 60 years. And then old age, 61 years till death. So, developmental stages are till old age. And what is developmental psychology? In which we study the stages of development. We study physical, social, and psychological changes. Physical changes means changes in height, weight, etc. Social changes means how children behave with elders, how adolescents behave, etc. Why adolescents feel stressed in this age. And psychological changes means how thinking processes change from childhood to adolescence, and then to adults, and then with elders, how people become mature. This is also a detailed study. We study various stages of human beings deeply. That's why it's a different field. Then is social psychology. It explores how people are affected by their social environments, how people think about and influence others. It means the relationship between human beings, means in society. It means how attitude of people changes according to their environment. For example, interpersonal attraction, aggression, etc. means how we become friends or how groups are made. On contrary, many negative things may also occur, means how we fight with each other or how we started hating with each other. Means this is based on social behavior of people. Next is cross-cultural and cultural psychology. It examines the role of culture in understanding behavior, thought, and emotion. It is based on study of culture, means how our own culture and some other countries' culture and how our behavior change by the influence of another culture. For example, we behave differently in Indian culture and differently in Western culture. It's a very interesting field because after studying this field, we come to know about various cultures of different countries. Means why Western people are so open-minded, why we are so emotional, why they are so practical, why we follow our culture. So there are quite amazing facts we come to know while studying this field. Their thinking and ideology is totally different from our thinking. That's what we study in this field. Next is environmental psychology. It means what is the effect of environment on our behavior? For example, influence of temperature, humidity, pollution, and natural disasters on human behavior. How temperature? Means at what appropriate temperature our output is maximum. Means when we feel easy to work in a temperature and at what temperature we do not want to work or we feel irritated or tired. Means with increase or decrease in temperature, how our output varies. Same is the case with humidity. Due to increased humidity also, we are not able to give our best. So is with pollution. Due to pollution also, behavior of people changes. Their health is also affected. Same is the case with natural disasters. For example, influence of earthquake on people, how their thinking changes before and after earthquake due to losses, what trauma they suffer from, how they overcome from this stage, and workplace also. Means if you are not comfortable with your workplace, how you change your behavior at workplace. Some issues are also linked with this branch, like how conservation of energy is done and efficient use of community resources. How can we modify our thinking so that they may improve their environment? Here, environment means physical environment. This field of psychology is related with environment. Then is health psychology. Health psychology focuses on the role of psychological factors, for example, stress, anxiety, etc. These factors affect directly on health. How can people handle stress? How can they convert bad stress into good stress? Good stress means positive stress. Means how can they convert negative stress into positive one to get more, or you can say maximum output from their work? How anxiety can be controlled? How any illness can be prevented and treated by keeping positive thoughts in mind. So, all this comes under the branch of health psychology. Next is clinical and counseling psychology. It deals with causes, treatment, and prevention of different types of psychological disorders. It's a very important branch. The main aim of this psychology is to treat various psychological disorders, means mental disorders, and how they can be prevented in future. Here, three kinds of people are involved: counselors, clinical psychologists, and psychiatrists. Who are counselors? Counselors are who do counseling, who solve problem with the help of interaction or mere talks. They tell the solution for various day-to-day problems. They motivate us to keep positive thinking just by counseling. Next is clinical psychologists. Who are clinical psychologists? They are trained professionals and their main aim is to treat mental disorders. These are professionals and many patients with serious problems visit them for their treatment. They treat their patients with a lot of patience. They listen them carefully and then try to solve their problems. They do not disclose anything, means they keep everything confidential. They are purely non-judgmental, means they do not judge the patient, even if he or she is disclosing any secret to them. They try to find out the solutions from their own problems. And third is psychiatrist. Psychiatrists and clinical psychologists, they are again different. The main difference is psychiatrists can treat their patients with medicines, but clinical psychologists cannot do this. Clinical psychologists can treat their patients with therapies or with sessions, but not with medicines. Only psychiatrists have the right to give medicines. And sometimes shocks, means electrical shocks, can also be given to patients. Psychiatrists are doctors. They have medical degree, but clinical psychologists, they don't have. But both can treat the patients suffering from mental disorders. When clinical psychologists cannot handle the treatment, then they refer this to psychiatrists. Then, with the help of medicines, they treat the patients. So, there are three levels. First, low level is counselor. Next, higher level is clinical psychologist. and highest level is psychiatrists. Next branch is industrial and organizational psychology. Industrial and organizational psychology deals with workplace behavior, focusing on both the workers and the organizations that employ them. It means it works on those people who are working in big organizations, how their working conditions can be improved so that they can give their 100% by choice, not by chance. Means they themselves want to contribute for their organizations, but not bound or compelled. Means they must feel comfortable in their working conditions. In addition, what kind of selection criteria should be followed so that the companies or organizations also get the best employees? Means how companies choose employees, what qualities they look in for, and at the time of interview, means how can they judge a person just with the help of their gestures or behavior. So this feat helps both ways, means organizations as well as employees. Nowadays, this branch is in great demand due to more focus on work. As a result, health is suffering due to stress. Next is educational psychology. Educational psychology studies how people of all ages learn. It is related with education, means how can we give best education according to age, starting from youngers to elders. What kind of material should be provided? What kind of curriculum should be followed? How to make curriculum more interesting? For example, in earlier times, only lecture method used to be followed. But nowadays, you also have noticed that study material is colorful as well as interesting and attractive also. So, how to capture their minds so that they may not feel any topic difficult or you can say boring. So, the people who focus on this aspect of education are known as educational psychologists. How to make learning easy process, how to find fun while learning and focusing, and not on rote learning so that children may enjoy the thing. The sub branch is school psychology. It means educational psychology is for whole education, means it may be at higher levels also, like various colleges, training institutes, but school psychology is limited to schools only. It also includes children with special needs, like special children who suffer from various mental problems like autism, dyslexia, etc. Which kind of education they need. It also includes how to remove phobias from children who have a fear on one or the other subjects. This also helps those kind of children also, and then they also started liking difficult subjects. Then next is sports psychology. Sports psychology applies psychological principles to improve sports performance by enhancing their motivation. As the name suggests, that it helps sports persons to improve and enhance their inner capabilities. how to remove their anxiety before the competition starts, how to handle the pressure and expectation from public, how to keep their motivation level high. So all these efforts are done by sports psychologists. There are many other branches of psychology which you need to know here. These are aviation psychology. It means how to handle the anxiety of pilots before they go in for flights. Space psychology, which kind of pressure astronauts face, how to deal with these problems. Military psychology, it means how to handle the pressure in military while going for wars, etc. Forensic psychology, it includes legal system which can go further criminal and civil laws. Rural psychology means how to handle pressure in rural areas. Engineering psychology, it deals with how to improve relations between people and machines. Similarly, there are other branches of psychology like managerial psychology, community psychology, psychology of women, and political psychology. You can find many more branches on internet. So, I think this topic is also clear to you. Still, if you have any doubt, then you can contact me. Thank you.